This is Jen Pinder.
Hey!
We have a special guest today, and it's Bob. Leah is out today.
She is.
But we're going to be talking about something that I think all of us are struggling with because of COVID. Mm-hmm. I know I am, and Jen is a real inspiration to me. She has a lot of experience with personal training.
Yes. Because
she was a personal trainer. Actually, I used to train with her.
Yes.
And so we're going to be talking about this, about weight and weight loss and being healthy and exercise. We do a lot of stuff for weight in Regenesis, and we wanted to talk about all the things that we do for weight, and how it all ties into hormone replacement and anti-aging and all that. But Jen, I want you to talk to me about, the stuff that you've experienced.
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women, when you turn 40, things change.
Completely.
Yeah,
and abruptly, that you're not expecting for all this to happen.
Right.
And I can tell you, in terms of training, I trained years ago, but I trained all the time. And when people in their 40s came to me, I don't even think I was as sensitive as I needed to be because I didn't understand it. And what happens is you can put in all this work and you can exercise all the time and you can actually send your body into like adrenal fatigue, which we found out I had.
Right.
And you can exhaust your body and you're not getting the results you want. Exactly. And then there's so many underlying things that happen where when I stopped exercising, I went back to a full-time job. When I stopped exercising, literally, I could not believe the halt that happened because I used to teach 100 plus people a week and I could do it with my eyes closed. I could do push-ups with my eyes closed. And now I don't even think I can do a push-up if I was paid to. Like, I think I have to do it on my knees. And it's amazing how much your strength you lose, how much muscle mass you lose. And then when your hormones start changing, your body starts changing. So then all of a sudden, like, I used to have the tiniest waist ever, and that's not the case anymore. Yeah. It actually goes here where it's a different look. And the thing that's great is Dr. Vadia is putting me on a whole hormone regimen, and then you're going to do a whole gut analysis with me, and we're going to be on this journey together to kind of get everything back in line.
Yeah, I mean, similarly, like, I never had a problem with my waist before, and now in your 40s you tend to gain the weight.
It's not cute.
In the middle. Yeah, and it's all related to hormones and insulin and then gut health. So we have this amazing program called HCG, and I think you've done it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, so I actually really like that. And I don't know what Dr. Vadia is putting a whole plan together for me of what we're going to do. But what HCG is it's basically a shot. And you can do it for 21 days or 42 days, right? 46 days. Yeah. And there's a diet plan that comes with it that you follow. And then you just do a shot in your stomach. And it's easy. But it honestly, I think, because you had said even like insulin resistance and like different things that actually women's bodies change and start fighting that you need to do. And it almost like evened me out, if that made sense. Now, that was a few years ago, and now we're going to have to do like a reset with that.
HCG is basically the pregnancy hormone. So it was, and I think Leah and I have gone over this in one of our previous rants, but it's a really nice kickstart because sometimes you've gained all this weight, you don't realize, during COVID, most of us have gained about 10, 15 pounds because we're not exercising as much. The gyms are closed. We're eating just a little bit extra. Like if you, and I mean, if you think about it, 3,000 extra calories corresponds to 1 pound of weight. So and that's easy to do.
Well, so wine happens.
Yes.
And drinks happen during COVID. This is real. You know what I mean? Like, alcohol really does happen. It's not, no one's an alcoholic, but we may have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. And then when you start adding that up, and then that's when you grab a handful of Cheez-Its or something, let's just say. We've heard friends do that. And I mean, it adds up to a lot.
So that's like 1 drink. That's about 400 calories. So if you're having 2 drinks plus a handful of Cheez-Its, that's 1,000 extra calories a day. So you can, safely say that in a week you could gain about a pound.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Right?
That's terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's terrible.
But you hear COVID, they're saying like 15 to 20 pounds that people are gaining.
That's like minimum. I think that, that's really good if you only gain 15 to 20 pounds. Some people are gaining more.
Well, and I think people have to have some grace on themselves because back when I taught exercise all the time, so from Thanksgiving to Christmas, that was always the window. They said the average was 7 to 10 pounds. And that was in a 6-week time period because that's when you're going parties and that's when you're going all these extra things. That's when you're doing all this stuff. Well, with COVID, this is a year that we've been in this, that we can't go out, we can't do anything.
Yes.
We can't, And I think psychologically it's messing with us so much too. Like our serotonin's not where it needs to be. All these things are happening. And I think you do have to have some grace with yourself of like, okay, let's meet with Dr. Badia. Let's have a plan. Let's get some vitamins because we don't have enough vitamin D. We don't have enough this. Like all these things are working against us to kind of like start getting back on track.
I think that's where HCG comes in, because HCG, because it's, you know, it's your natural pregnancy hormone. It's fairly safe, you know, and we monitor you. So you come in weekly, we measure your weight, we take your waist and hip measurements and everything. So you do have some sort of accountability. And we do like a consult with me or Leah or Jason. You're seeing the nurse. So it's a really great program. It helps you mobilize your visceral fat. Visceral fat is your bad fat. You have good fat and bad fat. The visceral fat is fat you do not want. It is the fat that makes you more likely to have diabetes and heart disease. And it's really hard to get rid of. Okay, so that is what HCG does in a nutshell. And it is great. You can lose about half pound to, and some lucky people will lose about 1 pound a day.
That's amazing.
So, and you feel good doing it, you know?
Well, and I think with anything, and this is with any program anyone does, is you need accountability and you need a partner. So right now we're all isolated, but if we can come here and then we're going to have check-ins and stuff like that with you, it makes you feel more accountable, and you don't want to let the scale down when someone else is looking at it. It's very easy for us to say we're going to restart Monday or we're going to do something like that. Right. But when you have to come in, you're like, oh gosh, I don't want her to see that I went up a pound. You want to see that you went down a pound. So I think accountability and that sense of community makes a huge difference, because we need it and we really crave it right now.
And then you don't want to just do that and then go and eat whatever you want. Right. So we try to make sure that after that, that you're on a really good path. So we don't just leave you and let you go. We also have those detoxes. You've done the detox.
The detoxes they have are amazing. You actually have them. That's a promotion
that's on
going
special.
Right now.
I mean, the HCG and the detox is on special. And I think everyone's doing it. Cameron's doing it. She's lost.
Cameron looks smoking hot.
Amazing.
Yeah, like whatever Cameron's doing, we're signing up for.
Come and show everyone.
Cameron looks
like drinking my coffee.
Yeah, but
Cameron
looks.
How much have you lost? Because you look at her.
Yeah. Well, from the from the detox, I think it was like 7, but since I started the fin treatment and stuff, I'm probably a little over 20 now.
Oh my
20
gosh.
pounds?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we're all going to be on Cameron's plan.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be on. We're going to be on Cameron's plan. But it works.
Yes.
And it's sustainable. And she works a bazillion hours a day. And you know what I mean? Like, she's able to do it. And I know, like, in all the schedules we're in right now, we're trying to homeschool, we're trying to work, we're trying to be all the things to all these people. And it's hard. So we need to be able to lean on Dr. Badia and say, okay, tell me what to do. And that's, I think, you and I have talked about this.
And it's not hard. I mean, everyone's doing it in the office. It's not hard, and you feel good doing it. Like your skin feels better, your gut feels better, you have more energy. So these are all really nice side effects. You don't feel bad. You know, you don't feel lethargic. You feel good. And so these are all good things.
Yeah. And I think what we need to do is we need to put together like a community group with it. Like we'll all put a group together, and like we all can kind of encourage each other along, because you can post all my stuff, I don't care. So we can post our stuff and say, okay, like I had a really good week. This is what I did. What did you do? And we can kind of have that dialogue to start going, because we need that. And like when I used to teach exercise, we all talked all the time. So now we can have Dr. Badia answer a question, because if we had a question, you can just answer us. And
we can have that. We can have that going on our Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. We have a blog too. Yeah. So, you know, that would be,
because we need community with it, and I think that would be a big difference.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, January, we're always trying to reset our goals, and real talk, typically Valentine's is when people stop. They always say that 6 weeks is that window, and then by Valentine's people have given up because they either haven't gotten the results they wanted, or it gets too hard. Where if you know you have people looking out for you and counting on you to be like, hey, how's it going? Like, okay, it's a bad week, restart. And the best thing you and I have talked about is like, even when things don't work exactly how you want them, if you were to fall down the stairs, you would get right back up and you'd keep going. And it's the same process. And I think a lot of times we forget that, and we think, okay, I didn't lose 10 pounds this week, I'm terrible. You're not. Well, you lost 7. You know what I mean? Like 7's amazing. We'll lose another 3 next week.
You know, what is 7 pounds? 7 pounds is like
it's
more than a sack of potatoes.
It is. Yeah, because you buy a 5-pound bag.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight. You know, I mean, to lose that much weight it's a lot of work.
And then it takes pressure off your knees, and your joints feel better, and like you just feel better, and that's what you want at the end of the day.
And I mean, a lot of cleanses and a lot of other weight loss things will make you lose water weight.
Mhm.
Like the HCG makes you lose actual visceral fat.
And that's huge.
So it's not it's not your muscles that are wasting. It's not actual, fluid that you will just gain back. It is visceral fat. And this is the bad fat. You don't want brown fat that you're losing. Brown fat will actually help your metabolism increase. You want that visceral fat gone. And that is what is amazing about this.
And I think with you, at least, you have a long-term plan, because then once you're done with either the HCG or the cleanse, then you follow them along. And the reality is, hormones change how often? Because it's a certain amount of years, right?
I mean, during this perimenopause time, I think God is playing
this is
a
just
big
me.
joke on
It's
you.
me. This whole perimenopause
It's
is
horrible. Like one day, like I'm perimenopause. One day my estrogen is 350, another day it's 30. So like, it's like, oh, let's see how you respond.
Let's mess with them. Let's mess with her and see what we could do, because it's hard. And I mean, so the thing is, I think the reality is you have to know, like, oh, this needs to be checked.
Yes.
And even when you have, like, prime example, if you have kids, soon as you have that baby and a sleeping plan and everything was good, everything changed. Literally everything.
Yes.
Every time I was like, oh, I got this. Okay, 10 to 2, or 10 to 11, they're going to sleep, and then 2 to 3. Okay, good. Well, then the next day they decide, like, no, I'm going to teeth and I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like every time you think, and this is life, you know what I mean? Every time we think we have something that's going to work, it's going to change, and we have to be able to change accordingly. And the thing I love about you is you do change accordingly. You're like, okay, this didn't work, let's do this. And you always are so constant, so kind, so patient of what you do. But she truly cares about all of her patients, and she's going to figure out what's wrong and how to fix it. And you save people's lives, and you don't even realize that. And I mean, because you give them their lives back. And that's a huge thing. It really is.
No, but it feels good to be able to see that change.
Yeah.
Because, there is always a reason, and weight isn't that simple.
No.
It's not calories in, calories out. It really isn't. So it can be sometimes, but it's not always. So, remember that.
Yeah.
It's not all about that.
No, it's really not. And I mean, and then it just, like I said, get a plan with you, and then your staff is so kind and so wonderful.
And it was
And
always
you have all
fun,
the supplements.
like when we worked out together.
We're
it was
gonna work out
always
again.
fun. And so keep your workouts.
We probably should do that.
Yes, keep your workouts with an accountability partner, and do something that you enjoy.
Yes.
Because if you do something that you hate, you won't do it.
Right. No, I get it. So the favorite thing, I liked Zumba. You know that was my thing. Zumba, and then I liked weight training. Those are the two things. But like, if you told me I had to run, I would probably push you down.
I would never run.
So I want to be able to do something that's fun, because I like going to the music, and if things are rhythmic, it made it fun for me. But we have to get back in a plan for that. Like, and we'll do that. And I have a gym in my garage still, so we probably should do that.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
I had the best time working out with Jen.
And we were fit back then.
Yes.
We're gonna be fit again.
Yes. I remember we used to, take pictures of our biceps.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're not doing that now,
Yeah.
but we're gonna do it soon. We're gonna do that soon, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we enjoyed having you here.
Thank you.
And come see us.
Yes, we're gonna be on a journey together, so we're gonna be back.
And
We're
we'll
gonna be on the
post
journey.
about Jen's journey. We'll
Yeah.
have like a little blog, and people can post on Facebook.
Yeah, and ask questions, and like, if you have, like, it's tell me how good you did, tell me how bad you did. You know what I mean? Like the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you don't know where you're going until you know where you are. So let's start today, and then say, okay, like next week, this is where we're at, and then next month, and then before we know it, we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, we're all 10, 15 pounds down, and we're keeping it off, and we feel great.
And HCG is on special.
Yes, you
this
have, and the
month.
cleanse too.
And the cleanse.
So it's really good.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.